Hello dear children, welcome you all for our English class for the lesson Bholi. This lesson Bholi was written by A Abbas. And in the last class we have seen that Sulekha, the young daughter of Ramlal, was getting ready to marry Bishampo. And everyone considered this Sulekha as Bholi. She was called as Bholi because they thought that she is good for nothing and also had some problems in her life too. And we see that when Bholi was sent to school, her teacher encouraged Bholi in speaking without any fear. She tried her level best to put confidence in the mind of Bholi. And also after so many years we see that Bholi was grown up and her parents was getting ready to conduct her marriage with one of the rich grocer named Bishampo. And this Bishampo was having the age of Bholi's father, but still then the parents considered this as a great opportunity to get their daughter Bholi married off. And also we see that even though Bishampo was the same age as that of Bholi's father, but still then her sisters got jealous to Bholi as Bishampo was rich and he came to wedding in great pomp and splendor. And let's see what happened next. Okay. When the auspicious moment came, the priest said, "Bring the bride." Bholi, clad in a red silken bridal dress, was led to the bride's place near the sacred fire. "Garland the bride," one of his friends prompted Bishamponath. The bridegroom lifted the garland of yellow marigold. A woman slipped back the silken veil from bride's face. Bishampo took a quick glance. The garland remained poised in his hands. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. Now we see that Bholi was seated in the fireplace, the holy place or sacred place for wedding, along with the groom. So when the time came, we see that the priest was just asking to get married off. Before that, Bholi was led to the wedding place. Okay, and she was seated near to Bishampo. And by the time that as the music ceremony went on, as the priest was trying to give the instructions and he was asked to put garland or place garland on Bholi's neck. So Bishampo, while he was about to garland this Bholi, one of the lady just took the veil. Veil is a cloth which was put on the face of the bride, hiding the face of the bride. So when the time of the marriage came or tying the knot came, you see that the veil was taken away one of the lady. So by the time when Bishampo was about to place the garland on Bholi's neck, he just had a look at Bholi's face. So once he had a look at Bholi's face, we see that he paused the garland for a while. He didn't put the garland on Bholi's neck. He stopped his action and he was looking at the face of Bholi. Then what happened? "Have you seen her?" said Bishampo to the friend next to him. "She has poke marks on her face." "So what? You are not young either." "Maybe, but if I am to marry her, her father must give me 5,000 rupees. Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor, at Bishampo's feet. "Do not humiliate me so. Take 2,000 rupees. "No, 5,000 or we go back. "Keep your daughter." "Be a little considerate, please. If you go back, I can never show my face in the village." "Then out with 5,000. Tears streaming down his face, Ramlal went in, opened the safe and counted out the notes. He placed the bundle at the bridegroom's feet. So when we see that Bishampo, when he had seen the face of this Bholi, her face was full of what? Poke marks. Already we have learned that when Bholi was 2 years of age, she has got smallpox. So the mark was still there in the face of this Bholi. So when this was seen by Bishampo, he stopped putting the garland on Bholi's neck and he just told his friend that, "See, this girl has got so many poke marks on her face." And just like what is a tit for tat, his friend also said, "So what? You are also aged. You are aged, you are not equal to that of Bholi's age. She is very young, so why can't you marry her?" Indirectly he asked the question. But Bishampo was not ready. He says that, "So what? Even if I am aged, he was sure that he is pretty good in financial matters with regard to Bholi's family. Okay, so he says that he placed a demand here. Bishampur is making a demand that if he wanted to get married or if he need to get married to Bholi, Ramlal, the father of Bholi, need to give 5,000 rupees as dowry. Getting married a pockmark girl, a girl with pockmarks. So now, when Bishampur put forth this demand, we see that Bholi's father kept his turban on the feet of this Bishampur. That means he is just bowing down before this Bishampur, just asking him not to humiliate him in front of the public. Because you know that this Ramlal was one of the government official, everyone might have respected him, and he was just trying to get this Bholi away from his family by giving her to Bishampur. When Bishampur, even though Bishampur was Bholi's father's age, but still then Bholi's father doesn't consider it, or her mother doesn't consider it this fact. They only wanted to get this Bholi married away from their house. So at this moment, Bishampur made a demand that if I wanted to marry this, if you want me to marry this Bholi, you have to give me 5,000 rupees. Bholi's father said, please reduce it to 2,000. He was just like a bargaining. It's going on for daughter to get married. So he said, I can pay you 2,000. But Bishampur says that if you wanted to held your head high in your village, if you wanted to get your girl married, you have to give 5,000 rupees. Otherwise, we are not ready to stay back. We will be going back to our village. We are not ready to marry this Bholi. So anyhow, when this Ramlal understood that Bishampur was not ready for a compromise, we see that Bishampur, who said that he is ready to go back if he is not going to get 5,000 rupees, Ramlal, Bholi's father, took the money from his safe and gave 5,000 rupees in front of this Bishampur. He handed over 5,000 rupees as dowry for marrying their daughter. Okay? Then, on Bishampur's greedy face appeared a triumphant smile. He had gambled and won. Give me the garland, he announced. Once again the veil was slipped back from the bride's face. But this time her eyes was not downcast. She was looking up, looking straight at her prospective husband. And in her eyes there was neither anger nor hate, only cold contempt. Bishampur raised the garland to place it round the bride's neck. But before he could do so, Bholi's hand struck out like a streak of lightning, and the garland was flung into the fire. She got up and threw away the veil. Pitaji, said Bholi in a clear, loud voice, and her father, mother, sisters, brothers, relations and neighbors were all startled to hear her speak without the slightest stammer. Pitaji, take back your money. I am not going to marry this man. So what we see here is when this Bishampur, after getting money, when he bargained or for 5,000 rupees, and we see that finally he succeeded in getting this 5,000 rupees only because this Bholi has got pockmarks on her face. Actually, thinking about this Bishampur, he is old aged, he is having handicapped on his leg, is a limp person, but still then he was not ready to accept all these negative qualities of this Bishampur. He was just trying to gambling game here. Okay, and he was trying to get money from Bholi's father. So when Bholi's father gave 5,000 rupees, it seems to be like he succeeded in something. And there was a smile, a triumphant smile at the face of this Bishampur. Bishampur was smiling as if he has won the gambling game. So gambling game is a game connected with luck. So here, as if he got a girl, young, sweet girl, plus money. So that's why he made a triumphant smile on his face. So after getting this money, Bishampur said, okay, now give me the garland now. Now I can marry this Bholi. So he was ready to put the yellow marigold garland on Bholi's neck. And once again, for the second time, the veil which was put on Bholi's face was removed by one of the ladies who stood there. So this time, when the veil was taken away, we see that Bholi, apart from the first time, she was looking straight. Her eyes was not downcast. That means she was not looking down, just like a bride, a new bride. And now she is so stubborn enough. And here it says that it was not the emotion of anger or hatred, something like that. It seems to be like contempt. She is of great determination of doing something. Or it seems to be like she stands there with a great desire of doing something special, with great courage and all. She was standing there. So this time, when the veil was taken from her face, Bholi was seemed looking straight. And she looked at the face of the prospective husband. Who is the prospective husband here? Bishamber. She looked straight away to the face of this Bishamber. What happened? Once she looked, Bishamber was about to place the garland on Bholi's neck. He has brought the garland very near to Bholi's neck. By the time, just like at lightning speed, we see that Bholi with her hand struck the garland and thrown it to the fire. There is a fireplace, okay, and you know that in Hindu marriage there is a fireplace near to that where the priest sit and he gives a needed instruction to conduct the marriage. So with her hand she just struck the garland and thrown it into the fireplace. When this Bholi did likewise, everyone who stood there was amazed. No one ever thought that Bholi will do like this. So you already know that Bholi was called as a dumb cow. That means she will not speak. And she even never responds also. This was what others thought of. So when Bholi gave a straight look at the face of Bishamber and when she struck the garland away to the fire, everyone was amazed at Bholi's action. They never thought that Bholi will do like this. Then what happened? Then Bholi called her father. What she called? Pitaji, take this money back. What she said? Take this money back. That don't give this 5,000 rupees to this man. She said that I'm not going to get married to this Bishamber. What is the reason? She says that this person seems to be like greedy. Because even though he has enough and more money, even though he is old age, even though he is handicapped, but still then he wanted a girl, a sweet young girl. Along with that, he was bargaining for more money. So she says that she was not ready to get married to this Bishamber. And the words of this Bholi made everyone startle. Startle means stand in surprised manner. What was the reason? First thing is that everyone thought that she is a dumb cow or she will not speak. And second one, she is speaking without a stammer. When she started speaking at the age of 5, she had stammering. I think you may be remembering when the teacher asked her name, she said, Bholi. Isn't it? Now she is talking without a slightest stammer. And there was not even a single sign of stammering when this Bholi was speaking. So what happened? Everyone was wondering, what is this? From where she got this courage to speak? How come she can stop this marriage? And that too a rich grocer from another village. So this Bishamber who was trying to humiliate the father of Bholi, the same person is now humiliated by whom? Humiliated by Bholi. Now the girl stood straight and she said, I don't want to get married to this man. Ramlal was thunderstruck. The gust began to whisper, so shameless, so ugly and so shameless. Bholi, are you crazy? Shouted Ramlal. You want to disgrace your family? Have some regard for your ijazat. For the sake of your ijazat, said Bholi, I was willing to marry this lame old man. But I will not have such a mean, greedy and contemptible coward as my husband. I won't. Here we see that Bholi's decision was the final decision. Now she is a learned girl. She is not a foolish girl, just like she was called Bholi. She knew how to give her decision. Now everyone who gathered there was astonished. Even her father Ramlal was speechless. He also stood there for a while without uttering anything. And after that, when Bholi said this, once she completed saying this, everyone, that this is a village, typical village style. And all the people started putting all blames upon this Bholi. Even though this man is old and lame, no one is trying to find fault with him, this Bishampa. When Bholi stopped this marriage, everyone was blaming this Bholi, telling her, calling her shameless. It's a shameless act that Bholi did. And also, Ramlal just scolded this Bholi for stopping the wedding. And he is calling, are you crazy? What is it? Don't you have brain? Don't you know that you are just disgracing your family? You are just humiliating your family. How can we look into the face of the other people in the village? It's a great disgrace that you are bringing to the family. Girls are not permitted to speak like this. That too for a marriage ceremony. Now Bholi stood and she said, yes, that's one of the reasons why I agreed to get married to this man. Because I don't want to bring disgrace to the family. That's one of the reasons why, even though I know that this is an old lame man, but still then I agreed to marry him. The first time, I didn't say a word. But this time, I'm not going to marry this man because he is a person who can be called as a mean. Mean means what? A person who has cheap character. Okay? Who is going below the level of beggars. Isn't it? Calling him mean. And also says that he is greedy. And again, who doesn't know that he won't ask for money. More money. Once he got married to this Bholi, the next day onwards, he will ask for more money. Because that person is greedy. And also he says that Bholi is calling him as a disrespected coward. As a person who doesn't have the guts, courage to look after a girl without money, without dowry. And she is now an epitome of well-educated girl. She knows how to withstand with injustice. She knows how to find justice for her own life. She is one great example of an educated girl. She could understand the different corners of Bishampa's character. She said it well that he is a mean, greedy and disrespected coward. And she says that I don't want to marry such a man who is mean. I didn't consider whether he is an old man or whether he has limbs. But I don't consider a man who is mean, greedy and disrespect person. Okay? And now, what a shameless girl. We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow. Bholi turned violently on the old woman. Yes, auntie, you are right. You all thought I was a dumb driven cow. That's why you wanted to hand over me to this heartless creature? But now the dumb cow, stammering fool, is speaking. Do you want to hear more? Bishampa, the grocer, started to go back with his party. The confused bandman thought this was the end of the ceremony and struck up a closing song. So what? Now, when Bholi said these things, one of the elder lady who was standing there said that it's a shameless task or shameless thing that Bholi did. And Bholi looking at that lady and said, yes, you all called me as a dumb cow. I was a dumb cow so far. Now I am not a dumb cow. You all thought that I am a foolish girl. I am not a foolish girl. You all thought that I won't speak up. Just listen. I can speak well. And she's asking, do you want to hear more? And also, she says that hereafter I am not going to be a dumb cow. I'll speak for myself, for my life. So when Bholi stood up, when she had shown the courage to speak for her life, we see that the Bishampa, who just bargained for 5,000 rupees, left this wedding and he was moving back. he moved back from the marriage. And all the people stood there, had seen the courage of Bholi. They understood that she is no more a dumb girl. Okay? And also we see that her father was standing there with great shame. Okay? Ramlal stood rooted to the ground, his head bowed low with the weight of grief and shame. The flames of the sacred fire slowly died down. Everyone was gone. Ramlal turned to Bholi and said, "But what about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you?" And Sulekha said in a voice that was calm and steady, "Don't you worry, Pitaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother. I will teach in the same school where I have learned so much. Isn't that right, ma'am?" The teacher had long stood in a corner watching the drama. "Yes, Bholi, of course," she replied, and her smiling eyes was the light of deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. So here we see that Bholi, when everyone, the neighbors and the relatives, everyone went, only who was standing there, Bholi, her father, her family members were standing there, the wedding place. And the fire was about to get dried up. By the time we see that Bholi's father who stood there, he was standing there with his head down. He thought that it's a great shameful occasion in his life. Now he is asking a question to Bholi. What about your life? What about your future? What you're going to do now? After this incident, I'm pretty sure that no one is going to get married to you. No one will be ready to marry you. Now here we see that Bholi, without a tinge of confusion, stood there with great confidence, opened her mouth and spoke to her father. What she said? "Pitaji, don't get worried about my life. Hereafter, I am going to live my life for my parents. I am ready to look after you in your old age. I'll be staying here with you to look after my father and my mother. And moreover, I'll be working in the same school where I have learned, where I have studied." That shows that she is now courageous enough to speak well, to read well, and to teach others also. She is confident enough to work, to earn a life of her own. She is confident enough to live without the support of an husband, without the support of a man. She has good confidence in her own life. And she told her father, she consoled her father. Sulekha consoled her father and told him that she is going to live with her parents the rest of her life. And also she will be working in the same school where she learned her lessons, where she learned to be like Sulekha. And now we see that all this time there was a person who was witnessing the drama that went into this wedding day. Who was that? The teacher. And when Bholi turned out to be a smart and a confident girl, she was slowly wiping away the fear of her life. And she was just putting a bit of hope in the life of her father and mother. And the teacher who was standing there witnessing all the scenes, the drama that took place in the wedding ceremony, agreed with what was said by Bholi. And Bholi asked the teacher, "Ma'am, what I said was correct, isn't it?" And the teacher said, "Yes, okay. What you said is correct." The teacher agreed with what was said by Bholi, the decision taken by Bholi. Because a girl like Bholi who was educated, who could stand on her own feet, doesn't need the support of an old man, doesn't need the support of a lame man, doesn't need the support of a greedy, coward, disrespected person in life. Moreover, she can look after her own life of her parents too. And now the teacher felt great happy for Bholi for raising her voice against the injustice shown to her life. Her father, her mother, her sisters, her brothers, her relatives, everyone was trying to give away this Bholi to the old and lame man as the second wife of that man, Vishambar. When Bholi raised her voice, that was the success, the victory of a teacher. This teacher is the one who told her, if you come to school daily, if you start reading your text, when you start speaking, with great confidence, no one will laugh at you. Everyone will respect you. Now that occasion came. The teacher who imparted this confidence in the life of this Bholi, now standing there feeling great relaxed, just like an artist who sees his masterpiece when it was complete. She was standing there with great satisfaction. Her work, her aspiration in life, nothing went wrong. This Bholi is the result of the pain taken by the teacher to make her a girl, not to be like a foolish girl, but to be a girl with sense. And she proved it in front of her teacher. And we see that in the story, the most satisfied soul in the story is the teacher, because all credit goes to the teacher who made this Sulekha from Bholi. Okay, so here we see that Bholi, the teacher as well as her parents, they all understood that always the success of a person lies in their education. And the teacher has shown a way for Bholi. Now Bholi is not the Bholi that everyone called Bholi because of foolishness. Now she is an epitome, or she is a symbol of courage. So this is the story of Bholi. I hope you understood the lesson. And students, you may please go through the text clearly, read 2-3 times, and try to be like Bholi, who is strong enough to speak for her own life. Thank you all. Have a great day. God bless you.